Hello, love and light to you. My name is Malik. I am a black man, and I'm here to be vulnerable. Did you know about 26% of black and Hispanic men, ages 18 to 44, who experience daily feelings of anxiety or depression were likely to have used mental health services? This is according to the American Psychological Association. 26% is low. And I want to use this platform to change that. I want to encourage us to prioritize our mental health, just as we prioritize our physical health. I want to provide a safe space for open discussion about our day-to-day struggles and challenge the negative stereotypes often associated with black men. I want to address some of the stigmas around mental health. Ultimately, I am here to share my journey with you all in hopes that it will inspire you to start and or continue yours. How are you feeling? No, really, how are you feeling? Probably said, good, I'm straight, I'm all right. I know. But I want you to take a moment with me to breathe. I want you to inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to give yourself permission to breathe. And I want you to say it with me. I am allowed to breathe. Go ahead. I am allowed to breathe. I want to thank you for taking the time to do that. And I want you to thank yourself for doing that. Now, without saying good, how do you feel? How did that feel? How does it feel to take a break? And I want you to know that you are good, bro. You can take all the time you need. This is a safe space. A little backstory about myself. My father, a black male, raised one of 11, my mother half black and Thai. I am the middle child of 3. I got the best siblings in the world. I have an older brother, J-Mo, and a younger sister, Lee. Shout out to my middle child children out there, though. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I left New Jersey about 2 years ago. I moved to Austin, Texas, and I'm currently working IT in the big tech company. I started my therapy and spiritual journey about 3 years ago, and I was very fortunate to click with my first therapist. Her name is Jemmy, and she has an absolutely amazing soul. She completely changed my life. She taught me about feelings other than happy or angry. She introduced me to meditating. She taught me about different soul levels. She taught me that it's okay to say no and how to set boundaries. That it's okay as a man to have standards for a potential partner and how to identify them. She taught me how to sit down and write what I actually want from relationships. She taught me how to speak nicer to myself. She taught me the importance of journaling. She challenged my self-limiting ideas and seen something in me that honestly at the time I didn't even see in myself. And she's a big reason why I'm starting this podcast. She helped diagnose me with ADHD, and as a fellow ADHDer herself, she understood the challenges that I face and work with me to help understand myself better. I am forever grateful for our time together, and she really has completely changed my life. Now, therapy doesn't work unless you do, and I want to stress the importance of taking responsibility for our own growth and healing in therapy. It's not just about going, but actively participating and doing the work. Speaking of ADHD, yes, I do have it. And I do take medication for it, which has been a challenge in itself. But I'll speak about that at another time. I'm learning that it isn't so much a disorder, but a different brain style. For myself, at least, it's not that I don't pay attention. It's that I often pay attention to too much. I pay attention to everything. Sudden lights, sounds, movements, they all catch my attention. They can just trigger thoughts and send me on a tangent. But I'm learning ADHD has a lot of upsides. For example, I am a very high energy individual. I'm talking endless amounts of energy. I can be spontaneous. Those of you that know me know I'm a wild boy. My ADHD allows me to see many different perspectives. I have a strong sense of fear. I'm very self-aware. I have a vivid imagination. I'm a very caring person, very attentive, which is ironic, I know. I love my sense of humor. I'm very playful. My mind is curious about so much and has allowed me to have interest in damn near everything. I've played football, tore both my ACLs, broke my left kneecap, but that's another story. Played baseball, ran track, acted in plays, got into photography, was a certified personal trainer, had my AWS Cloud Practitioner cert, my CompTIA A+, my Network Plus. I'm Red Hat certified systems admin, had CCNA. I worked on installing electronics in cars. I play golf. I built my own personal desktop, which I'm using to record this now. I have a current interest in cooking. I'm learning how to code, which is, I'm not gonna lie, kicking my ass a little bit. My mind is full of random knowledge. I'm a very good problem solver. I daydream a lot. I do well with seeing patterns in how things relate. I can and have listened to one song on loop all day. I do all of this, and to be honest, at times I do still feel like I'm not enough. With the good comes challenges, unfortunately. And I want to be transparent about the obstacles I face with ADHD, such as the difficulty regulating my emotions and managing distractions, and how I can be selective with my energy and sometimes take longer, much longer, to accomplish tasks that may be very simple for neurotypical people. I move around a lot. I'm actually currently standing at my standing desk right now recording this, moving around, of course. My mind is very active, especially at night. I have a very good sense of energy. I can feel when energy in the room shifts, often before it happens. When I'm with someone, I can feel when they aren't in the convo, aren't paying attention. I have at times called this out. I have a difficult time getting organized. I misplace things often. I chase dopamine if my tasks aren't clearly defined. I have 20 tabs open any given time. I have 3 work laptops. I guarantee you, if you open one of them, you would see. I often go back to reread things because I've lost focus. I message people back, often in my head. And when I realize I didn't hit back, I get anxious and I add it to my task, and it can snowball from there. Neurotypical minds may not have this problem, but I do. And that's okay. I can process things very quickly, or it can completely go over my head. My one more game can turn into 3 extra hours, which has me going to bed much later. With this understanding of self, I just realized that I require more. That's why I have to stick to my morning routine. That's why I do certain things like exercise daily in some capacity, walking in the mornings, weight training 4 times a week, jump rope, stairs, basketball, you name it, I'll do it. But when I don't exercise, the dopamine chase can begin, which has at times led me to what I deem as unhealthy behaviors. I've lost friends, had arguments and relationships, and even neglected myself a lot of times. I'll go deeper into this at another time, but wanted to give context and kind of a warning to you in case you're confused about why we may be on one topic and maybe on something completely random. That's just me. Combine ADHD with being a black man today, and it can get tricky. As a man, we're often urged to put other people first, as weak to show emotions. It's weak to ask for help. The amount of times I've told people, nah, I got it, when I really didn't, are too many to count. I feel emotions very deeply, and yet at times as a man, I haven't been encouraged to show it unless it's anger. Or I have, only to find out that it wasn't a safe space to do it, just to have it all thrown back in my face. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Safe spaces not really being safe? Do you know that there are other feelings? I have this listed as a topic I want to discuss in the future, but there's a whole spectrum that many of us don't even know or haven't had the opportunity to explore. Hey, brother, you may feel nothing or you may feel numb, but I want you to know that there's more if we look deeper. I want to encourage you to be curious about it. Be curious about that numbness. How? Well, you can start by getting a piece of paper. But before you start, I want you to do something that helps me calm my anxious mind. So I want you to close your eyes. Take away one of your senses. Take 3 deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth. Try to fill your belly with air instead of your chest. Reason being is your belly has more room to hold and can expand much further than your chest. Pull air through your lungs, not to it. And when you breathe out, I want you to picture that you're blowing out through a straw. Once you're done, I want you to Google Calm Feelings Wheel. There'll be a black and white and a color. Dealer's choice. I like the color one, helps me see. With that pen and paper, I want you to write down your thoughts. Start with 3. And then once you're done, I want you to write the feelings that you think are related to those thoughts. I'll speak more in depth about this another time, but this technique really, really helped me to identify my feelings. Some of these feelings that you're reading may be foreign to you, and that is okay. You may feel worried or even confused. The important thing here is just to start. I did it before this, and I ain't finna show y'all my handwriting because it's my handwriting, but I'll read it to you. I'm here in my apartment by myself, talking to a mic, fully clothed from the top up. I'm just kidding about that last part. I got pants on. But the emotion that I put is worried. I am worried. I'm worried about this podcast. I'm worried to be vulnerable. My next thought is, this is the first episode, and it's something I've thought about and meditated on for a long while. And it's something I'm very, very happy that I'm starting. So the emotion I put, emotions, happiness, and excitement. For my third thought, this feels needed. This space for others. I want to spread positivity with all I've learned. And with everything I've gathered from therapy and all my readings and all the shadow work, I want to pay it forward. Not just so I can eat, so we can all eat. I know this can make a difference. The emotion I put was optimism. By the way, if you ever wondered how to meditate, the breathing and counting of those breaths is the easiest and most simplest way to start. Close your eyes, count your breaths, notice your body. Your mind will start to wander, and that is okay. Believe me, as a person that has ADHD, that's my bag. The key is to gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Start small. Set a timer for about 30 seconds. See how many breaths you can get in. Do this for a few days, then bump it up to a minute. Compound from there. I'll get into it in another episode of how personally I meditate, the apps I use, and the benefits and how much it has changed me. I am nervous as hell to do this podcast. I'm nervous to show my personality. I don't speak with proper grammar. I'm worried about being wrong. In fact, I'm sure I'll be wrong. I'm sure I'll be wrong a lot. I'm not perfect. I'm frightened to show my ADHD. But it is funny, how the universe will just be universal. I got this message on I got this notification on my phone from this app, motivation app. It sends me quotes, and the quote says, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let others see the real you. And here I am doing that. A lot of times I think about what can go wrong, but I have a hard time thinking about what can go right. What if I did help one person change their life? Who can help 2 more people change theirs? What if it grows from there? What if it helps no one, but helps me deepen my therapy journey? What if this changes the world? I tend to have this all or nothing kind of attitude, and I'm not gonna lie, it stopped me from doing a lot of things. Shit, to stop me from doing this podcast for so long. It's been something that's been on my mind for probably about 1.5 years. I kept saying tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. But here it is. Jules, he's a producer whose music I love. He has an album named Leap of Faith. And in one of the songs, there's a part that asks, how do you know that you're ready to take the leap of faith? And the answer was, when you can't sleep at night. And if I'm being honest, I can no longer sleep. So here I leap. I want to thank you for taking the time to hear me out. I would love to hear your thoughts, feedbacks, throw a comment, send a message if this has helped at all, or if it hasn't, I'll take it. Also, if there's a topic that you would love to hear from me, love to hear me discuss, let me know. I took a long sabbatical from the socials. I had to go get right. And I'm working my way slowly to get back to it. I currently have a page up. It's on Instagram. It's called Brotha Tend Your Garden. Currently doing this podcast dolo. So I'm trying to build the site and stuff and trying to get it organized, which is not a strong suit of mine, but work in progress. I'll talk later about social media, but high key, I get overwhelmed with it. ADHD makes it hard to switch tasks at times, and the endless scrolling really does hurt my focus. Again, I want to thank you. Knowing me, where we go will be an absolute journey, but I have faith I'll get it right. So, brother, let's tend your garden, plant these seeds, cut the weeds, and care for our needs. I want you to remember this. Your feelings, emotions, and thoughts are valid. May peace be with you.